Hello, this is BECUAI. Financial institutions process thousands of news articles every single day. But out of all those articles, how many actually affect the stocks or funds that your clients hold? Having someone read every article, determine whether it's relevant, and filter out only what matters is simply impossible at scale. That's exactly what RDPLINE is designed to do. Every day, RDPLINE ingests real-time news from more than 3,000 Korean media outlets. It automatically identifies only the issues that genuinely impact specific stocks and funds, then analyzes the cause, the current situation, the outlook, and even the market's reaction. The results are delivered through the formats your organization already uses, whether that's APIs, webhooks, CSV files, or other integration methods, making it easy to integrate directly into your mobile app, HTS, MTS, PB platform, or CRM system. In short, RDPLINE automates one critical question. Does this news actually matter to my client? Today, we'll show you exactly how it works by following the entire journey of a single issue, from the moment it's created all the way to the customer's screen, through 5 demonstrations. First, the issue feed, where you'll see how RDPLINE identifies today's most important issues. Second, the API response, showing how that issue is represented as structured data behind the scenes. Third, the customer app, where we'll show how clients actually experience that information. Fourth, the branch advisor report, which private bankers use before meeting their clients. And finally, real-time alerts, demonstrating how the system responds when breaking news occurs. We'll follow a single issue as it moves from the engine, through the API, and into 3 different user interfaces. Let's begin with our first demonstration, the issue feed. This screen shows which news stories the AI has identified as today's most significant issues. Here are today's top 5 issues. We'll select one of them, semiconductor export restrictions. The moment we select the issue, the system immediately displays a summary of the cause, the current situation, and the outlook, along with the distribution of article sentiment and the market's reaction. In this example, 57% of the coverage carries a negative sentiment, while Samsung Electronics is down 2.3%. The system also automatically identifies which stocks and funds are affected by this issue. Behind the scenes, RDPLINE transforms raw news into structured issue data through a sequence of AI processes: keyword matching, clustering, and summarization, followed by virality and impact scoring. The result is a single structured issue data object. The issue we've selected here becomes the same data object that powers every screen you'll see from this point onward. Now let's move on to our second demonstration, the API response. This section shows what happens behind the scenes inside the system. The screen you're about to see is not a service interface used by customers or employees. Instead, it shows the structured data exchanged between RDPLINE and your systems. In other words, the data flowing between RDPLINE and your servers. Everything you'll see next, the customer app, the advisor report, and the real-time alert, is generated directly from this same dataset. Let's begin with the customer-facing response. It includes the issue title, summary, and keywords, but intentionally excludes the original news articles. This allows the information to be displayed directly to customers without creating copyright concerns. Next is the response designed for internal users. The fields highlighted in red are available only for internal use. They include the virality score, impact score, sentiment distribution, market reaction, and macroeconomic indicators. In other words, the same issue can expose different sets of fields depending on who is consuming the data. The data can be delivered not only through APIs, but also through webhooks, CSV bulk files, or any other integration method that best fits your existing infrastructure. Now let's move on to our third demonstration, the customer app. The API response we just looked at is presented to customers like this. Only the issues related to the funds a customer holds are filtered and displayed as cards, along with the expected impact on each fund. The colored bar at the top of each card represents the sentiment, while the cards are ranked based on the number of related articles published that day. The fund associations and impact percentages are generated from the Impact Fund IDs and Fund Impact Piscine fields. In other words, every visual element on this screen maps directly to the API fields we reviewed earlier. Now let's look at our fourth demonstration, the Branch Advisor report. The very same data is automatically transformed into a client consultation report for branch advisors. Only the issues associated with a client's holdings are included, ranked by score, and presented together with sentiment distribution and market reaction on a single page. The issue we selected is automatically ranked first, and the consultation summary, sentiment analysis, market reaction, and overall score are all generated automatically. Private bankers can simply export this report as a PDF and use it immediately before meeting with clients. Instead of manually searching through news articles and preparing summaries themselves, RDPLINE automatically creates the report for them. Finally, let's take a look at real-time alerts. Let's simulate a breaking news event. The entire workflow is automated from beginning to end. An issue is detected, scored, delivered through a webhook, matched against your organization's customer database, in this example, 12,847 customers, and finally delivered to each customer's device as a push notification. Traditionally, someone had to read the news, determine whether it was important, and prepare a notification manually. With RDPLINE, that entire process is completed automatically in just a matter of seconds. The 5 demonstrations you've just seen illustrate how a single issue data object can be utilized across multiple channels. We also provide a detailed specification that shows exactly where each required data field is consumed across all 3 channels. The interfaces shown today are only examples. Depending on your organization's system environment, the same data can be integrated into mobile applications, HTS and MTS platforms, PB systems, CRM platforms, reporting systems, and many other types of applications. Next, let's talk about how you can adopt RDPLINE in your own environment. Getting started is straightforward. You can begin by evaluating the quality of the data and exploring potential use cases with sample datasets. Once that's complete, we conduct a proof of concept, or POC, to validate the integration approach within your existing environment. After the POC is successfully completed, we move forward with full production deployment. Next, I'd like to walk you through the reference materials. This section shows where the data used throughout today's demonstration comes from. The issue data is generated by combining multiple data sources, including the RDPLINE news pipeline, the Bank of Korea's ECOS database, FRED, KRX, DART, and fund mapping data. These datasets are enriched and combined to create a single structured issue data object. The matrix shown here illustrates which data sources were used to generate each of the 5 sample issues featured in today's demonstration. Every issue is built on top of the RDPLINE news pipeline, while additional datasets are incorporated depending on the characteristics of each issue. Next, you'll see the article cluster for the issue we selected earlier in the demonstration. Each article is assigned both a sentiment score and a representativeness score. The article with the highest representativeness score is selected as the anchor news, which serves as the foundation for generating the AI summary. What you're seeing now are examples of actual responses from external data providers. We use the original data directly from organizations such as the Bank of Korea's ECOS, FRED, KRX, and DART. Finally, this is the mapping table that connects issues with individual stocks and funds. Fund holdings can be integrated using either data licensed from ZeroWin or portfolio data provided directly by your organization. That concludes our overview of how RDPLINE can be applied within financial institutions. The interfaces you've seen today are just examples. Depending on your organization's system environment, RDPLINE can be implemented across a wide range of platforms, including mobile applications, HTS and MTS platforms, PB systems, CRM platforms, and reporting solutions. RDPLINE integrates seamlessly with your existing infrastructure by delivering data through APIs, webhooks, CSV bulk files, and other integration methods that best fit your environment, allowing you to build the services your business needs with maximum flexibility. Thank you very much for your time.